a cultural icon, a community legend, a queen of comedy, and definitely the mouth of the South. It is the one, the only Miss Sophia. Miss Sophia, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Samson?
We gonna get right into it because this is all about you. So let's start with knowing, where are you from and what was life like for you growing up?
I am originally from, I say Houston, Texas, but I was born in a small town in Texas called Calvert, Texas. But we grew up in Houston, Texas. Growing up in Houston, Texas, I went to, graduated high school, and then I moved on to Texas Southern University. Now, I went to the neighborhood high school that everybody wants to go to, Jack Yates Senior High School, home of the mighty Lions, Jack Yates Lions. But when I was there, because my mom had always told me, if somebody be picking on you, defend you at all costs. You defend yourself, and if you have to, just pick up something and knock the hell out of them. And so that situation happened. Me and this young man, we got into it, and I picked up because we was in the theater department. I was in drama. We was in the theater department. They got all kind of wood and stuff in there for the set. So I just picked up the board, knocked the hell out of it, like my mama told me, knocked the child out. They took me to the principal's office, called my mom. They had to come pick me up. They suspended me from school. And my mom said, you can't be hitting people like that with no bullets. I said, Mom, you told me to defend myself, and whenever somebody bothered me, just pick up something and knock the hell out. Yeah, but I didn't mean it like that. So after that incident, they ended up transferring me to the white school, Lamar Senior High, which is where I graduated from, Lamar Senior High. And the thing about that is the church that I went to, the pastor's name was Taylor, Benny Taylor. And so everybody thought that I was one of his kids because my last name is Taylor. And so his kids went to Lamar Senior High. So everybody thought that I was one of the, thought we were brothers and sisters because we had the same last name and we rode the same school bus to uh, to high school. But I graduated in '82. Then I went to Texas Southern University. With Texas Southern University, I studied theater and computer science was my minor. Had a wonderful time. I was a cheerleader at Texas Southern University. I was on a debate team at Texas Southern University under Dr. Freeman. Dr. Freeman is the coach that Denzel Washington and all of them, they went and consulted with when they were doing the movie The Great Debater. Dr. Freeman is also the one who was instrumental in Barbara Jordan's life because she was a part of Texas Southern University debate team, and also Mickey Leland, a congressman from Texas. He was a part of the debate team. So then I moved to Dallas. I ended up moving to Dallas, doing shows and all of that. And make a long story short, I got married. After I've been in Dallas like 4 or 5 years, I fell out with the club owner. And then I quit. I quit. I said I wasn't coming back. So then what happened was this guy was putting together a production. It was called uh, Chitty Cat production, a Red Cat production, or something like that. Well, he was bringing a lot of entertainers from different cities to perform in Atlanta. And he asked me to host the show. So when we went to Atlanta to do the show, that was my first time in Atlanta doing a show, but we went to Atlanta a couple of times because they used to have the Miss Gay USFA pageant in Atlanta, and I would come and be a backup dancer with my drag mama, Christy Coleman, God rest her soul. So I came here, and after the show, the people, the owner and the manager of the club, they said, "Oh my God," they say, "You are phenomenal. We've never seen nobody like you." They say, "Would you consider moving to Atlanta if we give you?" They said, "We'll give you Monday night and Saturday night and any other night that you want if you would consider moving to Atlanta, and you could do whatever you want."
What was significant about the performance that made them recognize that they had to have you there?
My style of hosting, my style of hosting a show, and the comedic antics that I was doing in between the acts. So it's just like, you know, nobody's leaving to go to the bar and get drinks, and nobody's leaving to go to the restroom because they think they're going to mix something with this MC. You never know what she's going to do. And I have to be here to see all her antics. But, like if they wanted to go get drinks, they'll rush and go get drinks during some of the performances, but they wasn't going during while this little child is up here carrying on and acting the fool. Because see, before I hit the scene, there were people that were doing it, but they weren't doing it on the level that I was doing it. Like the host that were hosting pageants and drag shows and all of that. They were basically just, they'll sell us something, you know, uh, sell us something or read some announcements and all that stuff that they just wasn't involved in as entertaining as though like I was, because I'm like a part of the act. I'm up here acting, which
Right.
is what inspired me to want to host shows, because when I saw the MCs at drag shows, I say, I'm in school for theater and that's all they're doing is acting, so I could do that. So it's just like they saw that and they asked me if I would consider, not knowing the owners and the managers of the club, they didn't know that I had already started making moves to move to Atlanta, because my thing was at that time, Theo Vidal and Jamie Foxx and Roseanne Barr and all these other comedians, they were getting sitcoms
Hmm.
and I wanted a sitcom. So I said, I'm gonna move to Atlanta and start working on my stand-up comedy, because comedians are getting sitcoms, and Chris Tucker has a comedy club in Atlanta. And I thought that would be the perfect place for me to brush up on my comedy skills at a black-owned and black-operated comedy club.
But they didn't
I,
know that.
they didn't know that.
Okay.
And my thing was, when I moved to Atlanta, all I had to do was get on a flight and come to Atlanta. A friend of mine drove my car to Atlanta. Uh, the boyfriend that I was dating at the time, his dad owned a trucking company, so they brought our furniture here. And all I had to do was the apartment. My friend was moving out of an apartment, so we just took over his lease. My first apartment in Atlanta. So then they called me and they was like, "Well, we know we offered you Monday night and Saturday night. You can do whatever you want, but there's this show that's at Loretta's, and they are having issues with the management over there, and they want to move our show. They want to move their show over here on Monday night, and we just want to know. We know we offered you Monday night, and we want to know how would you feel if you have to if you would host their show, because they're willing to let you host their show." I said, I'm fine with that. I said, but know that you all hired me, and any issues or any problems that I have, I'm not going to them. I'm coming to you. And they said, okay, that's fine. So that's how I end up hosting the Stars of the Century. Stars of the Century is the longest running black show in Atlanta. I'm still hosting the show, and we're getting ready to celebrate our 26th year anniversary in April.
26-year anniversary. And what year was that you started there?
I moved here in 99.
You were doing drag way before that.
Yes. In Houston. I didn't start doing drag until I graduated high school. And it was just comedy drag. Because see, when I first started at the time, it was hard for me to get a job in the drag world, because the hosts and MCs, they were there just like forever. They weren't
Yeah.
going anywhere. They were just like the host and MC jobs were not available. Even if you wanted to be a cast member on the show, those jobs were filled too. And they wasn't available until someone died or someone quit.
Now, what year was that in? Like you coming out of high school doing drag?
82, 83, 84, 85, 86. It
Okay.
wasn't the way I caught a break in drag is there was this young lady by the name of Randy Rochelle. She had a birthday show. For her birthday, what she decided to do was she only booked newcomers, like girls that was starting out doing this. She only booked the newcomers, and I was the one she selected to host, the newcomer girl. So we did that show. The show was a hit. So now everybody wants us to do the show. They say, "Oh, y'all need to bring that back. Y'all need to do that. Y'all need to do that." And looking back on it, it was because it was the newcomers, and I'm sure that show was full of energy. And with these other girls who have been in the system and doing the shows and hosting the shows and on the showcast for years, it's just like they set in stone. They're not trying to reinvent themselves because their job security is secure. So they don't have to try to reinvent themselves. But this was a new energy that hit the drag scene. They asked me why, because they was having issues with the host for Miss Gay US of A. So I don't know what the issues were, but I do know the young lady's name. And then they came to me because the owner of Miss Gay Texas and the owner of Miss Gay US of A, they was like that. So whatever the issue was, they asked him to reach out to me and see if I wanted to host the final night talent of Miss Gay US of A. I've never been Miss Gay US of A. And everybody that has hosted Miss Gay US of A, prelims and final night, they are formers. I was the first. And to my knowledge, I think I'm still the only. And from those two experiences, both when I did Miss Gay Texas the final night, I became the official final night talent MC for Miss Gay Texas. I became the official final night talent MC for Miss Gay US of A. The only one that has never won either one of those pageants. I came to Atlanta, and my focus was I wanted my own sitcom because the comedians are getting their shows. So I want to get my work on my stand-up comedy, go to Chris Tucker Comedy Club, and get this comedy going so I can get out here and get my sitcom. What ended up happening, I was working at Trax hosting the Monday night show. So what I did was I advertised every week. I'm gonna do my first stand-up routine at, you know, Chris Tucker Comedy Club and blah 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 blah. So I did that for like a month and a half. And so the day came. I went up there that day. I signed up as Joe, went back. I was all glammed up, all dolled up like RuPaul. To make a long story short, I did not perform. They kept coming to me asking if they could put somebody before me, and I'm like, sure, because I know what they're doing now. They know I done brought all these people in here, and so they're trying to get as much money as they can out of these people, order these drinks and food and stuff. They said, well, we're running out of time for Amherst. Do you mind coming back next week? We have to get to the we have two headlines. We got to get them on stage. I said, no, I came here, I brought all these people here to see me, so I need to go on stage. The young lady that was the manager at the time, she worked at the club. She worked at V103. So she told me everything. Once I started working at V103, she pulled me aside one day. She said, Sophia, you remember when you went to Chris Tucker? So I said, yeah. So that's how I know what happened and how it transpired. But it wasn't until Chris Tucker left is when they told me, asked me if I could come back. So then it had been so long that I hadn't been on the stage. And so somebody came out of the theater that was like, what's going on? Why are you not here? And he heard them talking to me. This person ran back in the theater and said, Miss Sophia is not performing. Let's get the hell up out of here. And everybody got out, what? So now you got all these people out in the lobby.
About how many people was that?
A good 200-300. That's how I got invited to V103 to do an interview after all this happened. Like a week or two later, Chris Tucker decides that he is no longer going to sell liquor in his club, at his comedy club. Business started going down. And then the comedians was that it was like they couldn't even get nobody up there on the weekends because people ain't nobody finna come up here listen to no damn jokes, drinking no juice.
Right.
So it was a couple weeks after that he ended up shutting the comedy club down. So it was like a month total after the incident with me that the club ended up shutting down. So now everybody's saying this drag queen closed down Chris Tucker's comedy club. And to this day, I'm sure Dexter Tucker and Chris Tucker are still upset with Miss Sophia. But Dexter Tucker and Chris Tucker are the reasons that Miss Sophia's name is so big in Atlanta. Because from that incident, everybody wanted to know who is this drag queen that had Chris Tucker's comedy club shut down.
So that was your transition kind of from the underground gay club scene to more mainstream Atlanta.
The radio is where Tyler Perry reached out to me and invited me to be in I Can Do Bad All by Myself.
Okay.
Tyler Perry used to come to the Monday night shows. Tyler Perry used to tell me that he's about, I got a role for you. I got something for you. I got something for you. My next play, I got something for you. I got something for you. I was like, oh, okay. Here come Tyler Perry with Deatrick Hicks, or here come Tyler Perry with Ann Nesbitt. Here come Tyler Perry with somebody to the Monday night show.
Hallelujah. I have the crown of life. Baby, I'm sorry, but I'm an old lady and I'm going to need this right here to sit down. So get your purse out the way, little punk.
And I'm like, what y'all doing here? Oh, we in rehearsal for Tyler Perry's next play. What Tyler Perry said he was going to have something for me.
Now, I ain't Tina Turner, but everybody said I got some pretty legs, so I need everybody to see, so I need you to move, you three punks. Security! Got some uncooperative homosexuals in here. I need them to be removed expeditiously.
looking back on the situation, I took it as Tyler Perry saw me, and he saw a person that was comfortable and didn't see themselves outside of this box. Once I was on the radio, that's when Tyler Perry reached out to me and offered me a part in I Can Do Bad All by Myself.
And this was after the Monday nights of coming to the shows.
Yes.
Why do you think it was during your radio era that he reached out to you?
Every Monday he came and he saw me. He wasn't there every single Monday, but there were a lot of Mondays that he came through. Every Monday that he came and saw me, he saw that I didn't see a vision for me being outside of this arena.
I don't have nothing against homosexuals because my brother's a homosexual. But baby, I have some against punks putting a lot of jail in their hair. You need to go on away from here before that jail start running down my stockings and eat my good stockings. And you smoking too, so you better not burn no hole in my dress. I'm gonna whoop your ass. You can set your ass up here and look like Little Richard if you want. I know it may not look like much, but I got this from Nema's, the last call segment.
Entertaining the gay crowds.
Mm-hmm.
He saw that in me. And everything that I was doing, I was hosting drag shows. I was hosting gay pageants. I was hosting a party for somebody gay. Everything I was hosting was gay, gay, gay. And it was never, the only time I reached outside of the gay arena was when I went to do Chris Tucker's Comedy Club. And I'm sure he saw that. This child don't have a vision of entertaining outside this audience. So once I was on the radio, it was like his best kept secret. This little gay guy that was hosting these shows in this at these clubs and stuff. His best kept secret was now out and everybody knew about it. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then the comparison started to come.
Well, baby, you know they say the show is long, and last night they cut a few girls because the white folks had to get in, but tonight is black night. So we ain't got to worry about being put out unless they cut the lights off. Now, if they cut the lights off, bitch, you better run. Because punks have been known to pack guns. And they will steal your purse in a minute. Just heard. And the Bible say war they come before destruction, and I warn you, and homosexuals still. Amen.
Was this with the Medea character?
People saw, and they could, at this time when I'm on the radio now, they don't have, we're not video and television, it's just audio. So people just hear me. And a lot of people say, oh my God, Miss Sophia, she remind me of Tyler Perry. She remind me of Medea. She cracked me up like Medea. That's Medea. A lot of people thought that I was a real girl because they couldn't see me. They could just hear my voice. So a lot of people thought that I was a real girl, acting like I was a gay guy. So now it's just like, now the person that he and some people that he brought to the show know, now everybody's being introduced to this person. Because this person is on the radio. And that's a whole nother story.
I gotta ask, when you were going to Chris Tucker's club, this was also after these Monday nights that all these different celebrities, including Tyler Perry, was coming to.
Yeah. Yeah. RuPaul came through a couple of times. Ann Nish, the Brat, Lisa Ray, they would come. You just never knew.
Beyonce was there, right?
Beyonce came when I was hosting the show on Thursday. I was hosting the show at Phase 1.
Okay.
It was like strippers, but she came that night. What happened was A friend of ours was working with her. I think he was like wardrobe. He was working with her with wardrobe. I think it was Ty working with her with wardrobe or something. And we had a mutual friend. They knew each other, so they was hanging out. So they went to Neiman Marcus. It was he was hanging out with them while they were in town. Our friend, and so they were talking about coming to the show. And they say Beyonce walked up and she was like, "What y'all talking about?" And they talking about we talking about going to the show. It's this show that he goes to on Thursday night, and you know, we talking about going to the show. And she said, "Well, I'm going too." And they was like, "Yeah, right." They just brushed her off like she's like, she ain't going nowhere, child. Blah blah blah. So fast forward later on that night, they were getting ready to come to the club. Beyonce came to their room. She said, "What are y'all doing? I know y'all not trying to leave me." She's like, what? She's like, I told you I was going. I'm really going. So they said, okay. So they called us and they said, Beyonce is coming to the club. I'm saying, huh? They said, yeah, she's really coming.
And
So they
was
said,
this Destiny's Child Beyonce, or was this during since her solo career?
this is her solo career, I believe. I think this is her solo career. So then they call us later on. They say, she's really coming. We're in the car. We're on our way. So then she comes. When Beyonce comes in, she got this one bodyguard. I think this one big old bodyguard. It may have been two. I think it was one. I think it was one. And Beyonce comes in, and I say, ladies and gentlemen, I said she just here to enjoy the show, and I don't want nobody to be rushing over there bothering her. Leave her alone. Let her enjoy the show. I said, but y'all show some love for the one and only Beyonce. So then they shine a light over there. A lot of people thought that she was a Beyonce impersonator. I said, no, that's really Beyonce, y'all. So I said, come here, Beyonce. So she came up on stage, and it wasn't until I put the mic in her mouth and she started talking, they realized, that is Beyonce. So man, so then I said, don't nobody rush her. Don't nobody rush up here. Don't bother her. She just here to have a good time, and don't y'all bother her and security. Nobody was going over there to take pictures with her and all that. That's why I'm the only one that ended up with a picture with her. Because when I called her up on stage, I told her, I said, y'all come on, y'all could take a picture of her. And she said, no, you come get in the picture with me. So that's why I'm the only person that was able to take a picture with her. Once everybody figured out that is Beyonce, then they start calling people, Beyonce here, Beyonce here, Beyonce here. And before you know it, it was just the club was packed. And Beyonce they took her to the van because they was in a van. I went outside. I went outside because she sent for me. I went outside and they came and got me. They said, Beyonce wants you. So I went out there and she said, oh my God. She said, I had a great time. She said, you are so funny. She said, I enjoyed the show. She said, but she said, it's getting too crowded and it's dangerous because I only have one security with me and we got to go.
As a performer, as someone who has influenced culture tremendously, to have this moment where Beyonce came to see you in your show, how does that feel?
To have that moment with Beyonce and then to see where Beyonce is now and Beyonce from the Grammys this past Sunday and to know that I was in her presence. What has kept me grounded is my thing is, yes, I want to be in, movies. I want to be in some blockbuster movies. I want to be on some sitcoms and receiving all kind of awards for my acting ability. But it's just like God is like, well, they got enough Denzel Washington. They got enough RuPaul. They got enough, all these people. I need you to entertain the people that can't afford to go to see these real people. I need you to entertain some people. Everybody needs to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what level they are on. And although you're sitting here and the majority of the people that you entertain, they don't have no, six-figure bank account and all that stuff. There are still some people who have 6 and 7-figure bank accounts that are coming to see you. They know who you are. So it's like, okay, thank you, Jesus. But I want a little more.
You mentioned several times during this conversation that there are really established people in the industry who have borrowed from you, to put it lightly. And so how have you made peace with that? Like seeing people take jokes that you told and characters that you created and things like that and go on to build empires with those things.
I didn't have to say nothing because there are people that were there that talk about it. Every Monday that we were there, the place was packed. I wasn't the only one saw it. A lot of people saw it. And a lot of people, they speak on the situation. Because I've already, like I say, when you go to the altar, honey, you pray, leave it there. Don't go to the altar, pray, and then come back and you still trying to fix it. What was the purpose in going to the altar if you ain't gonna leave it there?
Do you think that situation made you stronger in any way?
Of course. It's a growing process. And then the things that I have learned when it comes to that, I try to pass them on to other people, especially my children, my gay children. Because they're like, baby, yeah, there's sometimes you got to bite the bullet. You know you've been wrong. But I think that's the problem that a lot of people have. They think that they're the only person that's been done wrong. No, people have been done. Diddy, the situation Diddy's in now. There's some more people that have been done wrong. So if you know that you're not the only one, then you can deal with the situation a little bit better.
Let's talk about you being on V103. You mentioned that you were able to build a very strong relationship with the listeners that were tuning in from the South. And so as a black gay man and as a very prominent drag figure, what was that like interacting with the Bible Belt South?
I've never been in a club where there's been a shooting. I've never been in a club where there's been a fire. I've never been anywhere where any hurt, harm, or danger was brought into me. So I equate that to me and my faith and my religion. And these, church people that have problems with gay people and this and that. I cannot tell you the amount of times that people have reached out to me in person after the show, during the show, or on social media now told me, uh, I lost my mom. I haven't smiled in a long time. When I came here, you made me laugh. Or my family doing such, such, such. I just got a divorce. I lost my child, my cousin. So many different situations where people have just been depressed. Some people have told me I lost my job, been in a dark room, and my friends been trying to get me out, and they told me I can know the place you need to go. You need to come go to this show with me, and da da da. And I came here, and tonight I haven't laughed like this in a long time. So when you are when you're in a position and you are the gift, you are the talent. There are a lot of times where you have to ignore what somebody else says because they don't know all the information that you're receiving from people who get, a healing or who get their smile back or who are reunited with their family or who is able to move along a little bit better in life because, I haven't been able to operate since I lost my mom or my dad or my sister, my brother, my cousin, my grandmother. So those people don't know those stories. Those people only know the stories that they want to dictate to you what they want you to do. No, that's for you to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna do what I'm instructed to do. And if I keep getting rewards from doing what I'm doing the way I'm doing it, then that tells me that I'm doing the right thing.
How does your family feel about you doing drag, or how did they react when they first found out that you were a drag entertainer?
My dad, he passed away in 2014. He passed away in 2014. They all knew that I do drag. My mom still know. My mom, She calls. So every now and then she said, "Hey, Miss Sophia." My dad, because I went to school for theater.
Mhm.
So I went to school for theater. So when my dad see me dressed up in drag, my dad say, Junior, you must be in another one of them plays. Oh, I just like, yeah, Dad, I'm in another play.
Was
And
your
we just
was your family accepting of your sexuality?
me and my family, we never had a discussion about my sexuality. All that coming out to your family and all of that, I never had that. Because I think my parents knew.
Hmm.
It's just like my mom had brothers, my daddy had brothers, my daddy was a man. So they knew the things that I was doing and the way that I was acting. It wasn't the way her brothers were acting, it wasn't the way her dad was acting. The dad and my dad know it wasn't. Now my son, it's something different about my son, but he don't show the signs of being a man like I know a man to be. But they
Yeah.
never brought that conversation to me. They just protected me, which is what I thought all gay kids had growing up until I got to Texas Southern University and I started hearing some of the horror stories of the people who parents disown them, who parents put them out, who parents don't even speak to them to this day. It's just like, oh my God. I took for granted that everybody was protected as I was. And it wasn't until I had moved away from home and everything, and Oprah Winfrey was doing a show and it was like a gay topic. And when they went to commercial, my mom asked me, she said, Julian, she said, you gay? And I didn't say nothing. So then she waited again and she asked me again, she said, I know you hear me talking. You said, Junior, are you gay? I said, Mama, be quiet. The show back on. And we never discussed it again until one time when something happened. And she told me, she was like, oh my God, she said, as opposed to dealing with such, 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 I'd rather have a gay child any day over that.
And you
But we
think that was
never,
her way of affirming you?
yeah. And another thing that I think brought them comfort in me being out there in the world, knowing how the world felt about gay people. Another thing that was comforting for them is anybody I hung around that was gay, my drag mama, my drag friends, my gay friends, anybody that I hung around, I introduced them to my parents to let my parents know, although you hear this about gay people, this is one of my friends and they don't fit that mold. You hear this about gay people, this is my gay drag mother. She don't fit that mold. So I need for you all to know that although you hear a lot of stuff about the gay community and the people in the gay community, everybody don't fit that mold. And your child is one of those people that don't fit that mold. My boyfriends, I introduced them to my family. They done spent the night at my house with me and my family. One of my boyfriends still in contact with my family. I'm still in contact with his family
So you've been in love before.
several times.
How do you feel about love now?
Same way. Love is love. Love is a beautiful thing. All my relationships except for one, they come from single parent household. And it took me a while to figure out that y'all come from different backgrounds when it comes to love. This person only knows love from one person. This love haven't seen a loving husband and wife like you have your entire life. So your love and the way their definition of love is two different definitions, but it's still love. But you have to recognize that this person is used to this type of love. Because one thing that one of my exes for I don't know what it's from birthday or something, but one of my exes knew how religious I was and how much I love church and I go to church and I'm involved and I'm very religious. I love Jesus and I love everybody, blah, blah, blah. One of my lovers for a gift one time, he gave me a Bible with two cards in it. One of the cards had my name on it, and one of the cards had his name on it. And then the Bible, well, he had my name, inscribed on the Bible. So then it wasn't until years later after we had been separated that it's like the little light went off. that this person knows how you feel about religion. And this person has went out of their way to get something for you that you would cherish. And this person knows that every time you see this Bible, you'll know who brought it to you, who bought it for you. And you'll remember this person who bought it. I didn't get that when he bought it. It wasn't until years later that I realized every time I look at that Bible, I can't look at that Bible without thinking about him. Another situation where another one of my lovers, we was having a Valentine's Day. For Valentine's Day, I went and I got a laundry basket. You know how back in the day they had the little round laundry basket, little plastic
Hmm.
one, the laundry basket. I went and got a laundry basket and I went to different stores and I bought different stuff that I knew he liked and put in that laundry basket. Clothes, shoes, jewelry, candy, chips, whatever he liked. I made him a personal Easter basket. No, that was a Valentine's Day. Made him a personal Valentine's Day basket. This person took me to the park and we laid on the ground and he had a picnic for us. I was like, I done went all around these different stores and got you all this stuff and everything you like, and you're gonna come and sit me on the damn ground and we're gonna have a picnic and da 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 da. And it wasn't until years later that I realized that we did not grow up in the same household.
Yeah.
And he is not going to express his love to me the same way you express your love to him, but love is love. And you have to accept different forms of love and stop looking for love to be returned to you the way you give it. And
Mm.
accept somebody else's way of giving you love and not saying that it's not love. It is. And stop disrespecting people's way of expressing love to you just because it's not something that you would do. You know how many people would love to be sitting in the park on the grass in the opening, having a picnic with their lover? Girl, are you crazy? Some people in these DL relationships, honey, they love don't want to be in public with them, can't be in public with them. Your man laid on a blanket. You talking about laying on the ground. Bitch, I wasn't on the ground. He had put out a blanket. And just like you
Right.
went all these different stores, he went and got all this food for y'all to have a good time. Out in the park, just you and him. Oh, baby, I was well, I could just break it down, and let you know I'm a Leo. So y'all already know what that entails.
I gotta ask too, where did the name Miss Sophia come from?
Good, you ask. I want a name that, fits me. So I went to school for theater, was my major, and computer science was my minor. The name Sophia comes from the great actress Sophia Loren.
Okay.
So I got Sophia because she's an actress. I was in school for acting. That was my major, theater. McIntosh. I'm a computer science major. I mean, it's my computer science is my minor. So Macintosh computers
Mm.
is where the Macintosh come from. Because I felt like I'm an actress and I'm intelligent. So I want a name that describe who I am. And that is Sophia McIntosh from Sophia Loren, the actress, and Macintosh Computers.
Last question.
No
So,
last, I'm here all night. We here till midnight.
so I mean, you truly have contributed so much to our community. You are a cultural icon. You have inspired all of us in really tremendous ways. And so, with that, what do you want your legacy to be?
Love, and not just for self, but for everybody. Just love. Let people be who they are. Accept people for who they are. Just love.